When I hear the word lava, I think of burning hot molten rock, but apparently I should be thinking of rock and roll. Tribit's tagline for its newest mid-sized portable speaker is "Feel the heartbeat of the earth," and since I'm a sucker for a good catchphrase as well as geology references and marketing, I'll play along. Meet the Tribit StormBox Lava. In this review, I'll show you what the sound quality is like, talk about the battery life and the special features of this speaker, like why it has a companion app. I'll wrap things up with both the pros and the cons of the speaker so you can see if it might be right for you. I would like to say thank you to Tribit for sending me a speaker at no charge so I could test it out here in my home. While the company did supply the speaker, it didn't ask for and wasn't given permission to have any input into my review, so these thoughts are all my own. I've reviewed several Tribit speakers, most recently the newer StormBox Mini Plus and Micro 2, but if you've got a larger budget and you want more power, that's where the StormBox Lava comes in. StormBox Lava continues Tribit's tradition of punching above its price tag, offering this 80-watt speaker for just $139 US and the same in Canada. StormBox Lava is a bit larger than a loaf of bread, measuring about 12 inches by 6 inches. Although it is quite large and heavy for a portable, it is easy to move thanks to an optional flexible handle or shoulder strap, which just attaches to 2 clips in the top of the speaker. Also included in the box is a USB-A to USB-C cable for charging. I opted for the smaller handle and found it's a super convenient and low-profile option for toting the speaker around the house. The top of the speaker is your user interface with Tribit's familiar big play-pause volume buttons, plus more subtle ones for power and Bluetooth connections, as well as 2 special functions. The other 2 buttons activate what's called extra bass mode, and there's also one for stereo pairing, and I'll cover those later in the review. The circle button in the middle kind of also acts as a multi-purpose control depending on how you press it. On the back, under a waterproof tab, is the USB-C charging port, as well as a USB-A plug-in for using it as a power bank. Surprisingly, an aux jack is also available in the back here for wired listening. You can even tinker with the output through the Tribit app, which gives you access to a 10-band equalizer. It comes with 6 presets, as well as the ability to set and save your own custom presets too. The app also shows detailed battery life and lets you control volume or song choice without getting up. With its bigger size and weight, plus 2 pairs of woofers and tweeters, you should be expecting bigger, more dialed-in sound, and I'm glad to say you'll get it. Right away, the bass digs deeply, and depending on the track, it can feel like taiko drummers practicing on your sternum. The bass is really strong, but it sounds true. There's a good balance to this speaker that's more finely tuned than some of the other smaller Tribit options. Vocals float on top and cut through properly while floating on an ocean of bass. The highs tinkle through like a carpet of stars overhead. In all, a great sound experience. The optional extra bass feature, which you can activate by pressing the X logo on the top of the speaker, further emphasizes its key role. Enabling this feature ramps up the bass, making the mode great for hip-hop or dance music. Depending on the track, though, you might notice muddier mid-range frequencies. I actually preferred to leave this setting on since I found it gave the music a better overall sound. With it turned off, I found the bass became a little bit on the tinny side. I also found that at volume levels over about 75%, the audio started to get kind of buzzy, hinting at a bit of distortion. If you have 2 Lava speakers in the same room, you can use the TWS or True Wireless Stereo function, which looks like the infinity symbol, to turn both speakers into a left and right channel setup. If you prefer to broaden the soundstage for larger parties, you can use Party Mode, which supports pairing up to 160 Tribit speakers. Although the StormBox Lava here is quite loud in its own right, since cranking up the volume does introduce that bit of distortion, having a second speaker or multiples can actually help. Tribit also made StormBox Lava with outdoor parties in mind, thanks to its IP67 waterproof and dustproof rating, which means you can dunk this speaker or kick dirt over it and it shouldn't impact it at all. Interestingly, there's also a built-in microphone on this speaker, which allows you to use it for hands-free calling. Out of the box, Tribit promises 24 hours of battery life, which is pretty good. If you don't need all that battery, the speaker's battery can double as a power bank too to charge other devices. Once emptied, the speaker will take about 5 hours to fully recharge. Overall, the Tribit StormBox Lava is yet another product that demonstrates Tribit's surprising ability to deliver the loudness and richness at a competitive price point. Let's go over both the pros and the cons of this speaker so you can see if it might be right for you. On the pro side, Tribit's done a good job balancing the speaker's size with its portability. I appreciate the fact you can either use the longer carrying strap or the handle depending what suits you, and those straps do make it a lot easier to move the speaker. I found the sound quality to be pretty impressive, and particularly the bass was resonant. The speaker also gets incredibly loud, and it can be connected to dozens more of the same speaker to create audio that can fill any space. I really appreciated the extra bass function and found it made everything sound better. The buttons on top are easy to access, and you can also use the app for remote control too. The app will also give you EQ toys as well. With 24 hours of battery life, this is a great speaker to stash in the RV or the camper and take along for the ride without having to worry about recharging. So what are the potential downsides? It's hard to find things to crack on principle. If you find a speaker like this too heavy to take it where you want to go, Tribit has plenty of other smaller and much more portable options, though you will sacrifice sound quality. Maybe you're not a fan of the dark black or light black color options that they offer and might like something a bit more fun. I can't help you there, but maybe Tribit will consider releasing some more entertaining designs in the future. The last consideration I'll make is that if you're going to push the levels of volume on this speaker above about 75%, do be prepared for some distortion in the audio. You can remedy this to some extent by adding a second lava speaker to the mix to fill out the soundstage. Even so, I enjoyed my time with the Tribit StormBox Lava. You could say it erupts with power, delivering sizzling sound that's hot enough to melt your expectations. Whether you're turning up the heat at a party or just feeling the earth move solo, this speaker does bring the energy. Tribit StormBox Lava sells for about $139 US or $145 Canadian, and you can get it from Tribit or from Amazon. And like I mentioned earlier, there are a few smaller and much more portable options from Tribit. See my review and comparison of the Micro 2 and Mini Plus, or check out what the competition is up to right now.